going to be just okay. First, let me just maybe make an introduction. I know that Chris and I, you and I have met, and for those of you on Zoom, my name's Hunter. I've been at Keller Williams for over 2 years now as a real estate agent. And then a couple months ago, I think about 6 or 7 months ago, got brought on the staff to run agent services as well as technology training. So that has been an awesome experience, giving me the opportunity to grab this chair. Giving me the opportunity to work with agents at a pretty high level and get to see what's going on in their business. I also think it's fun because I am a sales agent as well. So I have had the experience of starting to grow my real estate business, and will continue to do that. I think that today's Ignite session, I was telling Chris, not just because I'm teaching it, is I really do think this is the most important Ignite session. Because it's the foundation of a strong real estate business. As Chris mentioned, and maybe I'd love to hear what you guys think, but there's a lot that goes on starting your real estate business, right? Answer me this: when you graduated from real estate school, all right, took the 120 credit hour to pass the test. At that point, and now, the question I always ask people is, do you feel ready to grow a business and sell real estate? The answer usually is what? Probably not, right?
I feel like I know less than I did
when you started. Yeah.
Now I know it.
Right. And what I would encourage is you to realize that it's going to be a continual learning process. Okay. Just like anything, you're going to be continuing to learn. Now, when I got started in real estate, just over almost 3 years ago, it was pretty crazy. The market. Are you guys familiar with what the market was doing back, when rates were crazy low and inventory was, below 2,000? It was just absurd, below 2,000 homes on the market, right? And it was a really fun and exciting time, but because of that excitement and because of that energy, I actually didn't get a chance to really dive into some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today, because I just kind of put it on pause as things are going so quickly, right? And maybe that was just an excuse, but I really, if I could go back, I would double down on what we're talking about today. So today's session, grow your database, is extremely important. Do you know, when I say database, what comes to mind?
Contacts?
Yeah, contacts. Yeah. Your database is simply your Rolodex of people you know, right? Today's session is a little bit unique from the other Ignite sessions because it's about half as much content, and the other half is actual putting into practice what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I'll leave that up to you to decide if you're going to do that or not, but I'll turn the time over to you to do so. So growing your database, yeah, like I said, it is by far one of the most important topics I think that a real estate agent can talk about. So it is class number 6 in the lineup for Ignite classes. And this is our agenda today. Okay, this will probably take about an hour to go through, and then we'll actually put it into process. So smart data bank, build a database, feed your database, communicate with it, service the leads, and then rinse and repeat. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and I am very excited. So let's read this quote here from Gary Keller. Your database is your business. Building up the number of names in it and the relationship with those names is really at the very core of what building a real estate business is all about. Okay, so I ask you, what does it mean to be an agent? Does it mean sell houses? Does it mean run CMAs? Does it mean, home walkthroughs? All of that encompasses your job title, but at your foundation, you are a lead generator at the end of the day. Let's see. Just turn off. Sorry, just 1 second, guys. Okay, so answer me this, what, Chris, you've done other professions before, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so, you were a school teacher? Yes.
Elementary.
Hi, what's your name?
Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. Such a pleasure to meet you. I'm Hunter.
Nice to meet you.
Come up, yeah. We got Chris here in person and a few people on Zoom.
Awesome.
And we are talking today about lead generation. So we just barely started. Alicia, what's your story?
I have 2 kids. I've mostly done housekeeping up until now. We bought a house last year.
Cool.
And just like, I was really confused about the process, honestly.
Yeah,
So it kind of intrigued me, and I have family members that are realtors as well, so
cool.
yeah, I
Awesome.
decided to just do it.
And remind me, do you already have your license as well?
I just barely
You just
got
barely
my
got it.
license, yeah.
Okay, great. So you and I will need to be in touch.
Oh, I like, it was this week.
Okay. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Good for you.
thank you.
Well, just quickly about I'm Hunter. I'm the Director of Agent Services and Technology here at the office, as well as a sales agent. So my role is to help agents kind of get their start, get their foot in the door, as well as answer any tech questions and help them use technology to grow their business. The Ignite sessions, if you're not familiar, right? It's, I think probably has Shoni met with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I attended Monday, but I was on Zoom.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Awesome. Great.
yeah,
Okay, so this class today, I think, like I've already said it to Chris, I do think this is the most important class.
awesome.
This needs to be the foundation of your real estate business. I kid you not, nothing else matters. I say that again, nothing else matters more than growing and managing a database. When I say the database, what comes to mind? What does that term
Like-
resonate with you?
A list of acquaintances or people that I
Yeah.
know, right?
Exactly. That's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, essentially, a database is just that, is the people that you know, and they might not even know you, but ideally they do, right? You have their contact information. Answer me this. The world's best doctor, okay? Let's say he's the world's best heart surgeon, can do heart surgery like no other doctor. If he has no patients to perform heart surgery on, is he really the world's best doctor? Right? Right. So that's the same thing about being a real estate agent. You can be the best negotiator, you can be the best fiduciary, you can be the best, appraiser, you can be the best loan officer, right? All the titles that we actually encompass, right? Whatever it may be. Even though obviously I'm not saying we're loan officers, but just being that person for someone, right? Whatever the duties of an agent is, it doesn't matter if you don't have people to do it for, right? And so Gary Keller, he teaches, and this is encompassing this quote, that we are not in the real estate business. We are in the lead generation business. And the sooner that agents really hold on to that, the sooner that they're going to start really growing their business. Now, I'm not going to discredit the late night phone calls, the home showings, the sitting down, walking people through the process. I don't want to dehumanize real estate at all. In fact, I actually believe that by doing this, you put yourself in a better opportunity to help people because you are organized, you're systematized, and you're giving yourself the best chance to really grow business, right? And serve more people. So I definitely think that this topic agents can shy away from it because they're, oh, my business is when people call me and we do business, and like, that's great, especially in a market that's really hot. In a market like this, you need to be doing the things that we're going to talk about today. Okay. So any questions, thoughts?
Just saying, this is not a business for introverts.
I mean, it could be, it totally can be. But I honestly think that you need to double down on the basics. Chris was telling me that she's kind of felt a little bit of overload. Have you felt that, Alicia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next week, you have to come to board, then you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt that for sure on Monday, yeah.
What are some of the things that are overwhelming you?
I don't know, I'm just new, like, it's just a lot of information coming in at once, like trying to process
Yeah.
all of it. That's
Yeah, I get that.
been the biggest thing so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, as you start, you gotta think, not only are you learning how to transact real estate,
Yeah,
but the piece that's often overlooked and the reason that agents typically don't succeed is because you also have to learn how to run a business.
yeah,
And that is exactly what I want you guys to do. A lot of people, myself included, jump into real estate to be self-employed, right? I want to be
Right.
my own boss. Okay, that's totally fine. Because if I've ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I don't know if it's pen. It's smart, but where's that? Let's see. He has this quadrant, right? That he lists, okay? And there's people that are employed, self-employed, business owners, and investor. Okay, you guys see that, right? Any one of these quadrants can bring a lot of value, a lot of purpose, right? But typically, the most freedom and financial success comes when you get to this bottom quadrant. Well, a lot of people, they're employed, they work an hourly wage, like they're swapping their time hour, right? They jump into real estate because they want to be self-employed, which is totally awesome. So one of the things I love about real estate is you get to make it happen, right? However, a lot of agents, if they stop making phone calls, their business stops. If they stop connecting with people, marketing, their business stops, right? It is my objective, and definitely Kelly Williams' objective, to take people not from just self-employed, but to business owners. What does it look like if you run your business at a high enough level that in 5 to 10 years, you step away from it and it continues to run, right? One of the best examples of that is Josh Stern, he's with Keller Williams. He sold his company, his real estate business, for $2 million. Sold his database, what we're talking about today, the principles that we're talking about, he did it at high enough level, there's able to sell. Inevitably jumped back in because he's like, man, I don't want to retire. So that's I think you probably get it. So yeah, business owners, because then they get the opportunity to be just investors. So yeah, that's kind of the cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki talks about. Okay, so we're gonna start first with a smart database. Okay, your database, like we've said, people that trust you, know you, love you, yeah, we'll go through that. I'd be curious to know if you guys don't mind, pull out your cell phones. Do we both have iPhones? Is that no? That's totally fine. Okay, I don't know how to do this on Android. Probably pretty similar, but I just want you guys to go to your contact application, whatever it is, and Alicia, I don't know where, but at least in the iPhone, once you clicked on your contacts, you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and it'll tell you how many contacts you have in your phone. So I'd be curious if somewhere in that, Alicia, you can tell me what you have, and then Chris, how many contacts are in there? I think we discussed this earlier. I think you have 2.
I need to clean, 263.
263.
But a lot of them are
Great.
seriously not well
Great.
anymore.
That's okay.
I can't figure out where mine is though.
Okay, but scrolling through that, what would you just give a ball? It's not really too important what the exact number, but just out of curiosity.
Maybe like 75 or so.
75. Okay, great. So put a pin in that conversation. The other conversation I want to have is, and you don't have to vocalize this, but ask yourself how much money you want to make in real estate, right? Think about that question. What number is it that gives you guys the, hey, like, this is worth it, right? Or this is giving me seriously cool opportunities, okay? Now, most of us, we don't need yachts, we don't need like private planes, right? We just want to be able to take our families on maybe vacation, treat them to a nice meal, right? Whatever those things are. So typically I would say that those numbers are encompassed between, I don't know, anywhere from 100 to 300 grand. I think that when I typically talk with aspiring real estate agents,
Are we talking a year we want to make or a lifetime?
no, every year. Those are some aspiring numbers that I typically hear.
Yeah,
Gary Keller, he teaches that to grow a $100,000 real estate business, it only takes a database of 200 people. Okay, so just to give some context, right? I think we overcomplicate things.
yeah,
Would you guys believe me if I told you you can make 100 grand by just talking to people? That's literally all this business is talking to people. Now there's subsequent things that have to happen, but to get the ball rolling, it's just having conversations with people. Okay, those people are the people that are in your database. Now it is every real estate agent's, I believe, purpose to continually be growing that and nurturing that, and we'll be talking about that, right? But and we'll discuss it further. But my objective for you guys is to get to 200 as quick as possible, just because I think if agents are making 100 grand a year in real estate, there's a really strong chance to stay in it, right? And that's obviously I want that for you. So get as quickly to 200 people as possible. One cool thing too, I had this conversation with Chris just the other day. When I got started in real estate, I had a database of 800 people. I'm up to probably like 1,200 people now. Guess what though? A lot of those are dinky college students. That's just the reality. All of the people I know are really young. Okay. You ladies are very young as well. However, hopefully people in your age also already own a home or in positions to buy homes, right? So you're a leg up already, just because of your demographic is already in positions where they can buy and sell real estate, right? Which is awesome. Okay. So use that to your advantage. Okay. Now,
Yours are still fresh.
yeah, that's true.
right?
Give them 5 years and they'll buy it. So hopefully, and if we'll see. So, okay, this can be a little confusing. But this is in essence what happens when you get a lead. Okay, when someone comes in, we're going to be talking about what it means to have a database too. But just in essence, there's 2 ways to go about getting a lead. Okay, you can either prospect or you can either market. Okay, prospecting is within your circle, within the people you already know. Typically you will prospect directly to your sphere of influence. That's a term that you'll hear in the real estate business. It's a term that we throw around here a lot, so just be familiar with it. That's called sphere of influence, SOI. Okay, you will typically prospect to your SOI. That's going to be phone calls, event invites, birthday phone calls, birthday posts, dropping by and giving them cookies, all those things that are very personal. Okay, the other form of lead capture is marketing. Okay, marketing is going to be things like ads, potentially like open houses, right? Because you're soliciting the people that you do not know. That's typically what the differentiating factor is there. Okay. Now, whatever the case may be, we get someone that comes into our circle, right? They come in, they're going to be put into the funnel here. Leads then become contacts, right? So we form a relationship and then we put them into the database as a contact. It is in our job to cultivate this contact for conversion, right? So interacting them and servicing their needs. And then here's the great part. We rinse and repeat it, right? So that's just kind of the funnel, the process. Not necessarily super important to have that memorized, but it's just important to know that there's a process that you need to take people through.
And to be honest, since I started this, a week ago,
Yeah.
everybody that I know or that I meet, I'm in my mind, I'm like assigning them a number of where I think they would fit into possibilities.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I love that.
No. So
So
that's totally fine. Here's what I'd encourage you to think about though. Okay. We as agents have to be focused on the now business, right? We have to be focused on the people that are ready to buy and sell right now, because that's what's going to get us a paycheck, right? You don't make money off of people that aren't buying and selling right now. However, you will have the opportunity to make money off of someone that's going to transact in 3 years, right? And that's what I love about this business, is because it's not just if you guys are familiar with door-to-door sales, you're asking someone to marry you on the door. If they don't say yes, you're out of there, right? This business is really about cultivating relationships over the entire lifetime of people's real estate journey, right? So totally fine, and you need to identify the hots, right? Those are the people that are ready to transact now, but it's important to always have people in this cultivating stage, right? You're always going to be cultivating people. And I'm more so just bring this up. Just so, and actually it kind of says it right here. This is going to be the most important thing to remember. You lead generate to bring people into your database. You manage the relationship. And then you either do a deal with them or you have them point you in the direction of a deal. Okay. And then you rinse and repeat. You lead generate, manage the relationship, source a deal, and put them back in your pipeline. So that's just kind of the process. You don't need to like really memorize that too much. Okay, now command is going to help you guys do this at a very high level. Okay, why would it be important to potentially use a software or use a platform to manage your database rather than just here's my phone book, I'm just going to make phone calls?
Because it gets big. If you're doing it right.
Yeah.
It's too big.
It becomes too much.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Having a business where people just call you and you don't have to do anything, pretty awesome. But it takes time to get there. And even if you get there, to get there, you need to do some certain things up front, right? And so I do believe that command is the most powerful tool available to agents. Comes with your association with Keller Williams. It's Keller Williams built and owned and operated. So I definitely recommend using it, especially over just a spreadsheet, right? That's kind of like traditionally how people used to do business, is just on.
Here's Opera Command 101 class.
Mhm.
You do? Is it
I
online?
think I enrolled you in the one.
Yeah, okay, so, but it's not an in-person one, right?
So what I do every Tuesday at 12:30, I have a command boot camp class after team meeting where I just go over either things that I want to teach or concerns that agents have brought to me. And you're welcome to come and
What
attend
time
that.
is that?
12:30 on Tuesdays. Yeah. What's your guys's and Chris, you and I talked a little bit, but how comfortable are you guys with technology? Just out of curiosity. I'm
Pretty comfortable with it. Yeah.
and it doesn't take an IT degree to use command. It's really user friendly. I think probably the biggest thing is just from day one, just getting immersed in it. Like, don't be scared of it. Like, just start using it. Okay. And we can take it really basic at first. I mean, it's not even that it gets that complex, but I just think that agents often shy away from it. Okay. So the reason that command also is really powerful is because we just walked through that entire process, right? The entire funnel process. You can do all of that within command. You can lead generate, you can do lead management, and you can do lead follow-up and transaction management all within command. So it's all in-house. It is my hope that agents can sit down at their computer when they get to the office, or if they work from home, whatever the case is, and not question what they need to do. Right? We have the system set up that their data, that their CRM, their command is telling them what to do. Okay, because that takes the guessing out of it.
Simple question, when you archive a name,
Oh yeah.
where does that, okay, it goes to the archives, but what does that mean?
Yeah. So, all that is that it takes it out of the main contact pool.
So it's one that you.
We can go find it, but yeah, you'd be basically, it's essentially deleting.
Right.
But if you wanted to permanently delete it, you'd have to go into the back end and delete it, but an archive is just fine. Yeah. Okay. So we get to talk a little bit about this now. This is probably the most important thing that you can remember today. This is your job as a real estate agent. When you think I'm a realtor, you don't need to tell this to clients, but you need to tell this to yourself. These are the 4 laws of, they say database, but this is the 4 laws of lead gen. Build a database, feed it every day, communicate, service all the leads. I'm telling you, any successful realtor is doing this at a high level. In essence, that's all it is. Any single piece of your business can be encompassed in one of these categories, okay? So I know you guys are new to the industry. I'll let you write that down. I have a question.
Okay, so what does exactly mean? I mean, you're
Yeah.
gonna go over that.
Yeah.
for me.
Well, how about this? Throw out to me, just in your guys's, Alicia, you bought a home, so you kind of, you saw what your agent did for you. You bought, yeah. So, and then also as you're getting started, what do real estate agents do? Tell me, what are some of the duties of an agent? Just, I'm not looking for not looking for any particular answer, just name some activities that agents do.
We went to lunch with ours and then discussed like different possibilities, what we're looking for and. Yeah,
Great,
we stayed in contact like the whole time.
awesome. Great,
Ours was a lot, I think ours was different, because first one we went through a builder.
Um,
We bought our own lot and then went through a builder, and then the second one. We bought from our friends,
yeah,
so it wasn't an agent,
yeah.
and then another one we bought on a short sale,
Oh, wow,
so,
that's awesome. Okay,
but I don't remember, I don't think I was involved in any of that. I think
that's okay. That's totally fine. And again, I'm not looking for a particular answer, but what I want to just emphasize is that literally any activity that the agent does is encompassed in this, okay? So we're a lot of agents, and I talked about this earlier, right? I said there's two parts of getting into real estate. There's transactions, right? There's the going to lunch. Hey, let's talk about what home's best for you. Let's go see some homes, put an offer, right?
Right,
There's that, and that's step number 4.
there it is, yeah.
You're servicing them, right? But to get to that point, you need to do steps 1, 2, and 3, okay? Now, at any point, what I want to reiterate is I just truly believe that this needs to be the foundation of your business every single day, okay? You need to build a database. That's what we're doing as we get you into command, as we get you organizing your database. The feeding it is the phone calls, it's the emails, it's the text messages, it's the pop buys, it's the invites to events, right? Communicating with it systematically is being organized within it, and then that's obviously produces leads. So
where does, your different like social medias fit into that?
yeah, sorry, just 1 second. Sorry, what was that?
Where does social media fit into this? Like,
Yeah.
communicating with people on Facebook. and-
Yeah, yeah, that would be feeding it. You feed your database. You are obviously hopefully marketing to them solutions for their real estate needs.
Communicate is more the individual instead of the mass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. Let's click through here. Okay. I'd be curious to know just some of your guys' impressions and thoughts over the last, 10, 15 minutes we've been discussing. What are maybe some ahas?
I think it's gonna be uncomfortable at first,
Mhm.
and it probably gets better.
What's going to be uncomfortable?
Just stepping into, all of it, not just the,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
maybe outside of someone's comfort zone,
Mhm.
but it's okay. It's just know it's gonna be uncomfortable at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good. Alicia, anything? that stuck out to you?
When we were talking about the 4 laws. And you asked me about my real estate agent, like I still talk to her.
Yeah,
Yeah, like we're friends on Facebook, so I seen that she's done that and that's
cool.
definitely something that helps her business.
Yeah, great, awesome, love it, thanks, ladies. Okay, let's see. Okay, awesome. Now we're gonna dive actually into the specific pieces. And we'll spend just a few minutes on this, on each piece. Okay, build a database. Now, this in essence is what's gonna grow the real estate business, is you have to have something to pull business out of, okay? So you have to build a database. You have to have a book of business. It's just the way it works, okay? Now, right here, it says that at a bare minimum, a contact should have a name, contact information, past business record. That's a little vague. I'm gonna tell you guys what I need you to prioritize, okay? I need a name. I need a phone number. I need an email address at the bare minimum. Name, email address, phone number. Now, I would really encourage a birthday. I would encourage a home anniversary. Okay. Those are just why something like a birthday and a home anniversary Why?
Gives you a reason to talk to them.
gives you a reason to talk to them.
Yeah.
Right? Gives you a reason to say, hey, how the heck are you? Hey, by the way, what are your real estate goals this year? Okay. Like it just gives you the opportunity to connect with people in a really organic way. I don't know if Alicia, you've heard, but Gary Keller teaches that you need to have 36 touches with someone every year to be their realtor of choice. Now, what does that look like? Does that mean I'm going to send them 36 emails? Does that mean I'm going to call them 36 times? No, it needs to be a little bit more dynamic. And in order to have all of the pieces of that 36 touch, which we won't go necessarily over each step today, but you just need that information. It's just the way it goes. Now, what happens? Answer me this. What happens if I don't have someone's email address? I have their phone number. What do? Text them. The answer I'm looking for is I can ask them. I can ask them for their email address. Hey, Alicia, it's so good to connect with you. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I've been so great. Yeah, I got into real estate. Yeah, it's been so fun. Yeah, one thing that like people are telling me they love is that I'm sending them monthly updates on what their home is worth. Yeah, I just email it over to them. Out of curiosity, like, would that be of value to you if I let you know each month what your home is worth, so you know where your home value is at? Of course, great. Well, what's your email? Right? Like just simple conversation, and it's of value too. I think that's been the biggest. You're just coming from value, right? Like I just want to add value to you. I want to just support you and help you in any way I can. Okay, but that all stems from having people to connect with and then having that information, right? Because I can't offer a monthly CMA if I don't have their address and email, right? Other things that you can, and that's where I'll leave that. Any questions on that?
You would add address to that.
Yeah, you need an address. Yeah, and I think when it says contact information,
That's what
that means. Yeah, that's just kind of the overview of what. Those are database. Yeah, so this is command. If you haven't already seen it, gives you a really good snapshot of who the client is, because let's be honest, it is sometimes hard to remember all the details of people, right? So command gives you the opportunity to basically just pour information about someone into it and then use that at a later date. Like I love when you're making your phone calls or when you have a conversation, like I put people's kids in here. I put their, like, I'm telling you, really top, I don't even want to say real estate agents, but people that just connect to people at a high level, they have that stuff in there. Their kids, right? What their kids are up to. Like I called a guy that I met 2 years ago, just for our Easter event. I called him. His name's Jason. He's got two daughters at BYU and a son that's on a mission. I knew that his son was serving in Spain. I knew that one of the daughters, I can remember her name, right? Maybe not necessarily, like I remembered some of that information, but having it in there, I called him and it's like, oh my gosh, how is so-and-so? She's still at BYU. How's your son? Is he home from his mission yet? He was just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, but like, and so willing to talk to you, right? And I don't think there's anything disingenuous about just keeping logs of your friends and family, right? And the people that you care about, right? Because you want to be able to connect. It's hard to remember all the information, right? So definitely use command as detailed as possible, gives you the most opportunity, right? Okay, just a little plug for command. There's tons of trainings. I recommend definitely, Alicia, you'll get enrolled in this when we have our tech audit, which is what happens typically as people join the company. I'll enroll you in a really awesome training that is workshop style. The other thing that I'd point you to is just YouTube, you guys. Like, if you just look up KW command and then your question, I promise you, you're going to get it answered on YouTube. It's just the way it is. Everything's on there. You're also totally welcome to come to me. But typically, agents will ask me, hey, how do I add a contact to command? Say, great question. Here's the YouTube link. And it tells you exactly how to do it in 3 minutes, right? So, anyway, okay. Any aha you guys want to share? Does that, I think we can probably skip through that. Let's get through this. Okay, feed your database. Okay. Now, feeding your database is kind of what we already talked about. Prospecting or marketing. Okay, so we won't spend too much time on this right now, but it's just that. It's the phone calls, it's the emails, it's the texts, or it's the Facebook ads, it's the open houses, it's the flyers. Okay, those are just some different ways that you can communicate with people. And what would be beneficial is to sit down at some point and kind of look over. If you guys don't have that Millionaire Real Estate Agent, that book, I have copies upstairs. Really good book that talks to you about the different strategies that you can use. And so you just want to identify what are the prospecting strategies, what are the marketing strategies I want to implement. As you're getting started in real estate, I would stay away, I shouldn't say that, but prioritize people that really just your closest people around you. That's your closest deal, people that are in your closest proximity, okay? People that live in Salt Lake City and are looking on Zillow, like those are great people, but they're probably, and you have no idea who they are, like they're going to buy or sell, but chances are you're going to have to work quite a bit harder for that business. Okay. I'm not saying you don't do that, but as you start, prioritize the people that you just know, right? It's just what you need to do. Let's see. Yeah. And the other reason you would want to focus on people that you trust, know, and love. They have a much higher chance of referring you business, right? Because you already have that, right? This is one of my favorite questions. Are you guys coffee drinkers? Yeah, even if you're not, this is probably even actually better drinker to a non-coffee drinker. What is the world's best cup of coffee? Go. Who has the world's best cup of coffee?
Cultures.
Starbucks. That's the answer I was looking for. Starbucks.
Yours comes from experience.
You're just experience. Yeah.
It's the advertising.
Yeah.
Because they advertise.
Yeah, it's just the most known. It's not necessarily the best coffee, it's just the most known, right? And people like what they know and they trust that, right? Same with your people that you trust, know, and love, right? Other question. Name 3 brands of chips. Just any chip.
Lay's, Fritos, and Doritos.
Okay, perfect. Lay's, Fritos, and Doritos. Typically, people can't really name more than that. Okay, those are potato chips. Now ask someone, name 3 real estate agents. You might think, you really might think, but I promise you, most people, like 60-something% of people just do the first real estate agent that they know, that comes to mind. And most people don't know more than 2. So you're not fighting against, there's 3,500 realtors in Utah County. It's probably quite a bit less now, the market shifting, but you don't have to fight off all of them. You only have to fight off one other. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
And there's cases where people have, and here's the thing, it's just reality. There's people that you like, there's people that you might know really well, and their cousin is an agent. There's a strong chance, or their sister, whatever the chance is, like, but also at the same time, like people are not loyal to you, they're loyal to the service that you can provide. Okay. So if like one of my first or second deals, like, I helped a family buy and sell, and they had a cousin that was an agent, but the cousin lived in Southern Utah County, maybe wasn't quite as involved. And guess what I did? Sold my house and helped them buy a house with no second thought. I didn't feel bad for the cousin whatsoever, because I'm like, I'm going to get this done for him, right? And so anyway, the reason that we bring this up is just because not only do you need to look at your sphere, that's where I said you need at least 200 people to have a 6-figure real estate business. That is not to say that those 200 people are the ones that are going to do business with you, but the people that they know and the people that those people know. So the better, the higher level of connection that you have, the better. So great, awesome. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, your sphere will generate new, repeat, or referral business. Okay, that's just the reality of it. Definitely sharing testimonials and reviews is important. Guess what? You guys haven't bought or sold a house yet. Does that mean that you aren't trustworthy? Does that mean you're not hardworking? Does that mean you don't deserve a great 5-star review? You totally do. Like, that's totally fine. People don't need to know that you haven't sold a house yet, because every agent at some point sold their first, right? Um. Yeah, right here. Look, this is what this slide is exactly about. What areas of business or customer service could you ask someone to provide a testimonial review? Because let's be honest. While I would say it's probably important that someone knows that Alicia helped me buy a house. Chris helped me sell a house. Like that's important, but what's more important? Alicia communicates very effectively and makes me feel very comfortable. Chris is very hardworking, and I know that she is honest, right? Those are the qualities that people looking for in an agent. So having the ability to share those with other people. Yeah. Okay. Skip a house. Okay.
Do you
Sweet.
ask for that at the end, like when you work for someone?
Yeah, great question. So, what I will do is, and I'm not unique. I just learned this, right? There's something called the promise script, which is really cool. It's just it's a methodology of we're sitting down for the first time to talk about buying a house, go over the process, or sell a house. And I say, Chris, I'm so excited to help you. We've gone through how I'm going to help you succeed. We're gonna, we're really getting the job done. As a promise to you and a promise to me, and then you can do, my commitment is to growing my real estate business through people that I trust, know, and love, or my word of mouth is the bread and butter of my business, right? And so as I go through this transaction, I would ask for you to commit to referring me one piece of business. Nothing shows me more that I'm doing a great job than you trusting me with people that you trust, know, and love, right? And if I get to the closing table and for whatever reason you haven't given me a referral or haven't pointed me in the direction of someone that is ready to transact real estate, I'm going to think that I didn't do my job. Okay. So that's a really awesome conversation to have. And then it also primes people to be thinking, right? Because there's a chance that they might not know someone, but the more they're thinking about it, they'll hear someone talking and refer you. So the other thing is just, hey, when I get to the closing table, I would love for you to rate me 5 stars out of 10, or I'd love to give you a 5-star rating, right? And I'm going to expect a review. What would either help me get a 5-star review or prevent me from doing that? So I can just make sure that whatever that either doesn't happen or does happen, and just set that up front. So
I was watching a video on YouTube and there was a guy talking about that. He was saying that he would have them sign a piece of paper, like stating that they would give him a review or whatever after the transaction went through.
yeah. I love that.
That's a good idea too, right?
Yeah. Just anything. More so than anything, oh my gosh, I love. I want to save you guys so much heartache, and because I could have avoided so much. Probably my number one lesson I learned from starting is setting expectations with people. Like that skill is so important. So setting the expectation that I'm going to be asking for a review, setting the expectation that they will be giving me referrals, setting the expectation that the home is a used product. There's going to be issues before and after closing, right? Setting the expectation that, hey, I work very hard for my clients. If for whatever reason I can't get to my phone, it's because I'm doing something very important, right? Just so you can already set yourself up for success, right? You don't want to get to a spot where people are caught off guard or you're caught off guard, right? So setting expectations. I don't even know how I got on that. Oh yeah, sure. If you wanted to write an agreement with someone, I mean, not an agreement, but state, hey, you're going to give me a referral. Yeah. Just so when it comes up, you can just go, yeah, remember when we talked about that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah. Okay. To succeed at a high level in real estate sales, you must commit to frequent contact with the database with the intent of building close relationships. Now notice how it doesn't say with the intent of, hey, do you want to buy or sell? Hey, do you know anyone who wants to buy and sell? I'm telling you, the more you just connect with people, the more that they're going to do real estate with you. Now, I do not want to discredit, though, on the same token, you're also not here to just talk to people. You're here to at the same time help them buy and sell real estate or help their friends and family, right? So that has to be a part of the conversation, but you just make it as organic as possible. And inevitably it'll come up because people are going to ask you, what are you up to? I am helping people buy and sell real estate. It's been so fun. Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were doing that. Yeah, it's been really great. Right? When's the last time you bought or sold real estate? Oh, perfect. How was that experience for you? That's so cool. Is that part of your plans in the future?
And they say, how many of you sold? You say, oh, no.
So I'm part of an organization that sells 1.3 billion, that sold $1.3 billion of homes last year, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, what type of organization do you think can do that at a high level, right? What type of people do you think I'm associated with? So anyway, having great conversations with people. Okay, number 3, communicate systematically. Segment your database based on interest, passions, etc. So you need to feed the database, and then when it says communicate systematically, basically you want to have when I say communicate, when it says communicate systematically, you want to just meet people where they're at a little bit, right? So tagging your database or being organized with people's interests. So, hey, I know this person loves golf. I got a free round to Jordanelle Golf Course. Who am I going to give this free round to? Or, oh my gosh, I have a Hale Center theater tickets. Or, hey, I'm just, whatever the case may be, right? Just so you're communicating effectively. So, let's see how much this. Okay, perfect. That's what I want to look at. Okay, this looks a little overwhelming. So we're going to try and take it from a 10,000 foot view, but it's important to understand that you're going to communicate with certain people differently than you do other people. Now, there's a general baseline that you want to have, but you are going to communicate a little different. The way that I would encourage you to segment your database, and I'm happy to sit down and help you do this, is you want to have 2 categories. Now, when you only have 264 contacts and 70-something contacts, then you maybe don't need to do this, differentiate don't even differentiate the people yet. But as you build your business, you want what's called sphere of influence. Do you guys remember what sphere of influence stands for? Oh, I mean SOI. I'm giving the hint. What's the acronym? What's the acronym? Okay, so SOIA, SOIB. That's how I segment my database. That's how the Red Sign team, the team that I'm a part of, we segment our database. It makes it super easy. You have sphere of influence A, sphere of influence B. Now, the way that you communicate with these 2 categories is different. Obviously, each person can have a different level of communication, but in general, we have 2 philosophies. There's people that we are connecting to at a high level, and there's people that are getting just dripped on, right? Loved on from afar. Okay. The biggest thing that is going to, and they actually have it set up a little bit different here. But either one of these is the same. Leads would be essentially sphere of influence B, and contacts is going to be sphere of influence A. Okay, so all this is to say is that you're obviously going to communicate with people at a higher level that you have a great relationship with versus people that you don't. Now, I typically segment the database based on who I feel comfortable having phone calls with. If I feel comfortable having a phone call with someone, they're going to go in sphere of influence A. If I just do not want to have a phone call with someone, they're going to go to sphere of influence B. Okay. Now, I would encourage you guys to probably keep everyone in SOIA to start with, just because of the number of contacts you have, but it's totally up to you, right? Now, why would I, let's say, who's a good example? Trying to think of a person that would be a good example. why would I though, rather than, let's say, for example, okay, got a funny example. I have my ex-girlfriend's husband in my database.
Awkward.
I have his number. I know who he is. He knows me. Should I just archive the data? Should I just delete him completely out? I actually know. I'm not going to. I have other real
You have
estate.
something in common.
Yeah, that's true. We do have something in common. Yeah. I have, let's say, an old coworker, didn't really get along that well, but I have their email and phone number. Like, I don't really have a relationship with them. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, right? But anyway, do I delete their information completely? No. I am the biggest proponent of having data. It gives you opportunities to have relations. So what I would do, rather than archiving and deleting those people, I would simply just put them to sphere of influence B. You have their number, you know who they are, or for whatever reason you're connected, and you just leave them in there. And then you're going to focus on your SOIA. We're going to focus on loving on those people. But guess what? There's going to be days when business is slow, and you're going to want to draw some new business. Well, what does it look like to rekindle that relationship with the past coworker?
Everyone would say it's a bad idea to get back with your ex.
Yeah, that's the problem. The ex-boyfriend, he might get deleted actually. But I kid you not, I started really random. I don't even talk about this, but my ex-girlfriend sent her husband some listings that I posted on social media. And then I got on the phone with him and started talking real estate and started sending him houses. We ended up going a different direction because I think for the best. But like, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know, because guess what? I don't know. People just they do business with people they trust, know, and like. So if you can be that for them,
You just have that personality.
you're sweet. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, this looks a little overwhelming, but that was the main thing I wanted to talk to you about, is segmenting the databases. I think what's most important there. We'll skip over that. Okay. Does that make sense? Is there any questions in regards to that information we just kind of went over? It's just important to be organized with your data. And the good news is, like, with a database of 70 people right now and 200, like, that's a breath of fresh air. Like, you guys can get that really organized. And there's an agent at our office. Her name is but she sells a lot of real estate. She has like only 100 people in her database, and she does really great work. She's just getting to a point where those 100 people equate to like 400 people, just because she has loved on them so much, and they would not let anyone else buy or sell real estate without her. So it doesn't take nearly as much as you think. Okay, service your database. Now this is the kind of the tail end of the real estate process, right? Your job is to build a community and serve the community, right? And that's where it comes to just being a really awesome real estate agent. I don't think we need to talk into that too much, but that is just going to lunch, sitting down, talking about their needs, helping them understand if it makes sense to buy or sell, and then walking through the process, finding homes, selling homes, all that jazz. So, all right. 4 laws of legion. Law 4, service all the leads. Obviously, just being an agent. Plan for a lead follow-up program to leverage every opportunity. Yeah. And then the other thing too is, and we've kind of already talked about this, but people are going to be much more likely to refer you business when they're feeling really good, and nothing makes people feel good like you doing a really good job helping them buy or sell, right? So that's kind of your golden opportunity to strike, and at least set the expectation. For whatever reason, they don't give you a referral at the closing table. You say, that's totally fine. I would love to just stay in touch, see how things are going with your house, right? Also, as I've mentioned to you, like, I grow my business through word of mouth. I'd love to just, check in ever so often and see who that is looking to buy or sell. So have that a part of your plan. And command, we don't need to dive into the specific portions, but command lets you do that. What was that?
18. What does that mean?
That's
not your.
No. That's just a graphic that command has. Okay, let's see. Okay, those are the steps, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, just some things about, and this is kind of just some maybe words of encouragement. Follow the 4 laws. Don't quit too soon. That's the other thing, you guys, like real estate. And I don't say this to discourage people, but it's a harder ball to get rolled. It just is. So the great news is if you're pushing it effectively, like it rolls and it rolls. And I'm the biggest believer that the more time on task, the more opportunity you get, right? The luckier you get. That really is, I believe that, like the more you're focused on something, the more you attract other opportunity. And I think that I think I see agents just fail to see that.
So you're saying set the expectations for yourself too.
Hold yourself accountable, set high goals, but also be realistic with yourself. But yeah, and then the real estate business is a relationship. Yeah. Always come from care and service too.
What do you think makes a good starter out agent? Besides this, but overall, like what is it? Somebody who sticks with it, somebody who shows up,
Yeah,
continues to learn.
yeah, for sure. All of those categories, all of those traits. I think that probably, yeah, living in the 4 laws. I think regardless of your personality type, regardless if you're extroverted, introverted, regardless if you like or don't like talking to people, you can still operate in those at a high level. Probably the other thing that I would recommend is just getting comfortable calling people. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Nothing sells houses like having conversations. Even more important than the phone calls is going to be the events, but those events are typically that's like the easiest phone call to make because it's just, hey, I'd love to just see how you're doing and invite you to an awesome event that we have going on. So those phone calls are typically easy, and that's actually your highest, but that's every, twice a year, those events. The other phone calls are important too. At the end of the day, you just need to get comfortable talking and having conversations.
When did you feel confident? How far into it, sharing your knowledge, not just talking?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, if someone asks you, like, what's the market like to you right now? You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to, and that's you definitely want to go into those conversations with some ammo. So like there's nothing wrong with before you make your phone calls, before you have conversations, like studying, you need to become experts. I once heard that
and the best resource for that is
oof.
I'm asking you hard questions.
No, they're great questions.
They have a training, I think that the next one's at the end of this month.
Yeah,
The
quarterly call. So once a month, Johnny, our regional director, he'll have compiled all of the data for Utah and then and anyway, and those slides are so valuable. So you can really talk to people at a high level what's going on in the market. Yeah, you don't need to be necessarily an economist, but you do need to be a real estate expert. You just need to know. The other thing too, I would say, is just get familiar with what's on the market, what kind of inventory. Like if someone asks me like, hey, I'm looking to buy my first house, like what should I buy? I'm like, oh, perfect. There's a bunch of up and down units available in Orem, single family homes with basement apartments, 1,200 square feet down, 1,200 square feet up. If you look to buy it, it's 500,000. If you put 5% down, that's going to cost you $3,600 a month. That's only going to be $1,800 a month. Can you afford it? Like, you just need to know what people want. I think also kind of know your market, like know your database. Like I know a lot of my friends and they're going to be first time home buyers. So knowing what condos and townhomes are available, just things like that. Yeah, just getting as familiar. And honestly, I think that our market center, this office does a really good job of communicating that information to our agents. And then, yeah, as far as I will say nothing teaches you how to do real estate like selling real estate. Like just going through transactions, it's intimidating when you've not done your first one yet, but like every single agent, even our top agents, sold their first house. Like it's just reality. But yeah, I would say honestly, like probably after about 4 transactions, I felt like pretty comfortable at least like I felt like I could sit down and really say, hey, I can take you through to A to Z. And I think you could probably get to that sooner. And I still have moments where I'm like, oh, is that, and I've been doing it, just over almost 2.5 years. And there's times, but I definitely feel extremely confident now. Yeah. So it just time on task, just be consistent. That answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. I think there's something. Okay. That's like self-reflection. Okay, now we're gonna get into the so we talked about some really good things. We talked about what's the system. Now we need to talk about the daily activities. Okay. So it is recommended when you start in real estate, you have a daily 10-4. Okay. 10-4 being 10 conversations a day about real estate.
Not yourself.
Not with yourself, with other people. 10 contacts added to command. 10 handwritten notes, and that's a week. I think it might be a day, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's that. And then the other one, it's not on there right now for whatever reason, but the other one that I would put here is you need to view at least 10 homes a week. That's the other thing, Chris, like you just need to go, you need to get on the MLS. I recommend seeing about, I would probably see a home a day. Go find vacant homes, go find new builds, just go get in house.
person.
Yeah, go get, obviously spend time on the MLS, but like start getting familiar, especially areas that you think you want to work. Like I'm a Utah County boy. I love Utah County. So like I know Utah County. If people want a really awesome townhome that's going to double as an investment in 5 years, I'm sending them to Lehigh, American Fork. I'm going to the Exchange by Edge. I'm going to Keystone's community out there, right? Like I just know that that's a hot spot. I know that, hey, if you're okay being a little offset, Southern Utah County has some killer deals, right? And you just know that by just being in the industry, right? And just getting familiar. The other thing you can do is and I forget I apologize, I forget the 10-5-1. I think 10 likes. 10 likes a day, 5 direct messages, and 1 post a day is kind of, if you want to do a social media route, is something you can do.
I think Josh was.
Josh taught yesterday.
he
Did
said
he
like
talk to that? 5-5-1. Okay, great. Yeah, so that's the 5-5-1. Yeah, and I don't want to overcomplicate it because there's this really awesome book that I'm looking to read. I heard about it over the weekend. It's called The Checklist Manifesto. There's this guy that he's a doctor, and he created this system of just simple checklists like wash your hands. I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor, but like just some simple tasks before they go into operations. And then they implemented that in their hospital, and like a bunch of hospitals around the world after they were seeing some results, their mortality rate fell by like 57% after they simply just implemented a checklist. So I would just with whatever your schedule is, just think about, okay, what are some daily activities that I'm going to do, and then commit to them. Gary Keller, he says that if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Yeah. And honestly, that's another thing, guys, that I would probably say, like, I wish I had, and this is just in life in general, honestly, like I wish I had learned, or not even learned, because I think I knew it, but I wish I had started implementing sooner, is like be religiously committed to your calendar. Like if I have lead generation or phone calls or like whatever it is on my calendar, like nothing else matters. And actually, and I think that one thing that I'd encourage too, as you guys get started, is I definitely because I'm a full-time college student as well. I graduate in May with my finance degree. And thank you. I've been then I'm gonna stop selling real estate with one hand behind my back. Sell it. And I've also been, a full-time agent, and then I've been working I've also worked a job the entire time I've been an agent too. So like I know what it's like to juggle. Huh?
What was your job?
First, for a year, I was an agent's like executive assistant, just worked for him, did a ton of different things. For 6 months, I worked for a wholesaling company, analyzing deals and running numbers. And then for the last 6 months, I've been in this full-time position. So I totally get it. What I am striving to do, and this has nothing to do with the class, but just I recommend. Oh, thank you. What I would recommend is when you're wearing your realtor hat, you're not a mom, you're not a wife, you're a realtor. When you're wearing your wife hat or your mom hat, you're a mom, you're not a realtor, right? And obviously you can, like, there's going to be times when it blends, but like at least from my own like peace of mind, like the better you do at segmenting those parts of your life, like not only the more productive, but just like the less stressful you are. Like it's going to be inevitable. You're going to be writing contracts at 8:30, or kids are getting ready fed, or your grandkids are over. Yeah, no,
because I'm sitting there, my husband.
Yeah. As often as you can, and I'm not going to discredit it, because one of the things I love about our business is like, I'm go 24/7, right? I am all about that, but you're actually, I think, hindering the amount of actual focus you can put on each task, because we really don't multitask well. We can't multitask, right? So that's just like a little thing. And that goes back to being committed to the calendar. So when it's like, hey, honey, for 2 hours on each day, like I am, how can you help me absolutely just pour into my real estate business, right? Whatever the conversation needs to be. I think I would have saved myself a lot of heartache my first year for sure.
Well, you're managing all that, and.
Yeah. Well, and then you add dating into that.
Yeah, I'm very.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I don't know why this. Let's see. 1 second. No, that turns off everything. 2, 6, 4, 9. Okay. Okay. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. Great little mantra. I'm curious if you guys, I haven't really like ever done like self-affirmations too often. I know there's a lot of we have an inside sales agent on our team. His name's Troy. All he does all day is make phone calls. He has probably 30 to 50 like phone conversations a day, and he's really big about doing this. I think there's probably something to be said about it. One thing too, just another,
I'm just laughing at that, and I'm like, what are they?
Right.
Maybe.
yeah. And here's the great part though. Here's the best part, you guys. If someone, granted, let's be, maybe they're having a hard day, right? Maybe having a hard, whatever the case is. But if someone does not want to talk to you and they're able, good riddance, because we don't want to talk to them. One of our biggest philosophies on my team is we do not work with jerks. We just don't. It is not worth your time. No, and I'm saying this from experience because I have let clients walk over me in the past. No one is worth your time and sanity if they're not treating you properly. I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah, like, yeah, and you'll have clients that are just different personality types you need to work through. But if they're just genuinely just not nice people, like I can probably name off 3 or 4 people that I'm like, man, I should have fired them forever. I should have been like, we are done. Like, this is not acceptable behavior. Yeah, I could go on. I've got stories. So, my problem is I'm typically too nice. I'm just like, oh, okay, like I'll deal with it. And then also when you're hustling and you want to do deals, you're like, whatever the deal come, I'll do it. So anyway, but yeah, great. I don't know why I have that on there, but maybe because I think we're about to, let's see. Okay. Now.
No.
This is the part. This is why I was kind of excited to teach this class, because so I'll level with you. The next like 40 minutes of the class is designated to this. We don't have to go into too depth, but I would love the opportunity to do this with you guys. So and super awkward, super judgment-free, safe space right here. But we are gonna kind of just go over some conversation, tidbits and role play, okay? If you guys are okay with that, you okay with that? Sure. Okay, it's really important because happens here, stays in here. And because your job as a real estate agent is to connect with people. So you just got to get more comfortable having conversations. So there's an excellent script that I would love to tell you guys about. It's in that book there. We got to get you a copy of it. You have it?
Yeah.
So if you want to flip that open, there's what's called the Ford script. Okay. This one, because it'll happen, you guys. It'll happen where you're calling people and you don't know where to take the conversation sometimes. The Ford script is excellent. I've gotten really committed to just going into a phone call, knowing, like, saying to myself, like, so maybe I do a little bit of self-affirmation, but I just reassure myself, like, this is going to be an awesome phone call. Like, this is going to be a totally comfortable phone call, right? Like, if you go into it thinking it's going to be awkward, like, it's going to be awkward, right? And I think people can sense that. I think that's, yeah. So the Ford script, family, occupation, is it recreation? Is that what it says? Recreation and dreams. Okay. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So super easy conversation. Okay. So I can maybe demo just kind of how I would take a conversation, and then I'd love for you guys to maybe recite it to me. So I'll call Chris up. And you can kind of gauge too, especially as you guys are first starting out, you can kind of also gauge, like, if it isn't comfortable to just cold call someone out of the blue, you could send them a text, or you could send them an email or message them on Facebook. I'm totally cool with that. I'm not saying, but obviously the goal is to get to a point where you can comfortably just call people and have conversations. That's the idea.
And some people aren't phone people. I mean,
some people aren't. Yeah, some people aren't phone people. Some people are text people. What you can do is just send a voice memo or send a video recording of yourself. So obviously tailor it to the person. I just think that if there's a two-way conversation is ideal, right? But one script that you could use is an apology. Say, Chris, it has been, and this is the case probably for you guys in a lot, and me to this day still. Chris, hey, so sorry. I've been so, like, I'm, you could word it in a number of ways, but like, this year I'm recommitting to staying connected with people from my past. It's been super long since we last talked. I'd love to connect with you. What's your phone number? Like a text like that, just apologizing for not being in touch. And then the same thing so we're gonna just be you, right? And we'll just pretend that, I haven't talked to you in a while. We had some type of relationship. It's just, hey, Chris, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Oh my gosh, it's been what, like 5 or something years now?
At least.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to apologize. I pride myself on staying connected with people and having great relations. And we haven't had the opportunity to stay in touch. What's new with you?
Oh, so much.
Yeah?
Yep.
Good.
I deep into real estate.
Oh, good for you. Awesome. So you made a career change, right?
Yes.
Oh, cool. How long ago did you do that?
It's been a few months.
Oh, that's great. Are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And so remind me, your husband, he works full-time, whatever the case may be, right? And so is he working your real estate business with you, or what's your goal with real estate?
Building future plans. He's in development. He has contractor's license. He's kind of done it all.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're building plans for the future.
Great, family, awesome. Okay, cool. And what's your goal with that? Like, are you guys gonna, hope to just do that for the rest of your time? Do you have any like vacations that you want to go on, anything like that?
Gosh, I think right now we're just trying to build this. In the future, we'd love to go live overseas someday.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. That's really good. Yeah, I had the opportunity. I had the opportunity to go to Mexico last weekend. It was so fun. You ever been to Mexico?
Many times.
Right.
Do I ever want to go back? No. I'm good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And so pause. And like, this is great, just reconnecting, right? And so I could totally try and push it to real estate. If it's the first time I'm having a phone call with her, I might not need to. It would maybe be beneficial though to like bring it up you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've been just slammed these last couple of months. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know we're friends on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen, I've been in full-time school. I got my real estate license a few years ago, and they'll typically like, oh yeah, I saw that. That's like, if they're engaged, they'll, oh my gosh, yeah, like they would typically say, how's that been? So ask me, how's that been? Oh my gosh, Chris, it's been amazing. I really, really enjoy it. I found something I'm passionate about. It's definitely, been hard work, but I enjoy it.
Why are you still in school if you're doing real estate?
Oh, that is such a great question. Yeah, and I'll go into that. Like, I had a couple of scholarships that I didn't want to give up, so I've been doing school full time. But my real passion is real estate, and I've actually been able to do it at a pretty high level. And I'm always looking for opportunities to improve. I'm curious, the last time you bought or sold your house, how was that experience with your agent?
Actually, the last time we didn't use an agent, but I wish we would have.
Really? What makes you say that you wish you
I
had?
feel like we could have had some more protections that we didn't have.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's something that's important to you. Cool. Yeah, well, that's something that I definitely pride myself on. The other thing that I pride myself on is just staying connected with people and being a resource for them when it comes to real estate. Do you have anyone that's consistently connecting with you and updating you on the real estate market?
Nobody that I know. We get lots of flyers in the mail, but I don't even know these people. So.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm like I said, I'm just really passionate and really looking to grow my business. I'd love to stay in touch with you and
Great.
obviously talk about what you guys got going on, future developments in your own business, but also love to loop you into my business and keep you associated with me, whatever it'd be natural. But yeah, so just, I don't know. I think that that's awesome, right? I think that we just overcomplicate it. Like we really do. Like people want to be heard, and I think that to a degree they want to know what you've got going on. And so just connect. And I'm not perfect at it either, but that's the whole thing too, is you don't need to be perfect. What I would recommend though is I am definitely more comfortable having that flow, that conversation after practicing. So it is not at all like, it's not disingenuous again to practice having conversations with people, just because you want to you're not gonna, the worst time to practice for a listing presentation is when you sit down to give someone a listing presentation. It's just the reality of it, right? And so I would just recommend just practicing, maybe find a script partner.
Okay, perfect.
You guys want to practice?
Yes.
And I remember when I first started, it'd be like, hey, every single day we're hopping on for 15, 30 minutes and having script practice. Start with just 30 minutes a week. Start with one phone call a week with each other. If you can't do one 15-minute session a week, make the time for that. And I would just recommend it. Literally, and every time, just have those conversations. Just go through that process. Yeah, and again, nothing. It's like anything. It's just a skill, right? That I'm always looking to improve as well. Awesome. Okay, I would love for one of you to feel comfortable to call me. So we'll say that, and just name someone, maybe Chris, as you've started to get started a little bit further in real estate. Is there someone in your phone book that you would love to do real estate with? You would love to be their agent? Is there someone that you happen to think that comes to mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad, I'd love to see my dad's house.
That's easy. Does he know you're in real estate?
He does.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Not yet.
Okay, maybe I know I'm not going to try and get.
I'm probably be the largest sale of my whole real estate career.
That's cool.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I probably won't try and impersonate your dad. Is there something?
Oh, yes. Sure, my brother, he lives out of state, but they're thinking of Utah.
Okay, let's actually, because I feel like family's a whole different. Yeah, family's a whole different. That's really personal. Give me someone that's just maybe you just haven't talked to in a while. If there's anyone, maybe ward members or something. I still have a list of people that are in my database. I know some great people from my ward. I'm like, man, I need to be their agent. They're
okay.
great.
Sure, we'll pick my neighbor.
Perfect. Your neighbor. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so however, let's just assume in this case that I'm expecting the call from her, right? So it's not necessarily out of the blue, but even if it was, I'm just going to assume that I knew you were calling. Okay, let's say we ran into each other, say, hey, we ran into each other on the street or at the mall or at the church. Said, hey, I want to give you a ring this week. You connect with you. Perfect. Okay, you ring me.
Hey Susan, how are you? This is Chris.
Chris, hey, I'm doing so well. How are you doing?
Good, we haven't talked in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
No,
I
that's
feel like we've lost touch a little bit and I'd love to reconnect.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. What do you got going on?
I am now selling real estate and I'm loving it.
Great.
and It's really fun. How about you? What do you got going on?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the kids are, as you know, they're all grown and out of the house and they're just living their own lives,
That's perfect, isn't it? I'm almost there.
Yeah, good for you. That's awesome.
So what's your husband up to?
Yeah, he's doing, he's still, at his job, he's getting pretty close to retirement. What about you and your husband? Are you guys?
We're about the same. We're kind of in the transition phase. So have you guys thought about what you want to do down the road?
We're thinking, that's funny enough, actually. Yeah, we think that we might, we love the neighborhood, but there's a chance that we, want to get closer to grandkids. So we potentially think about, keeping the house as a rental if it makes sense or moving on.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be just a great income. Because I'm assuming your house is paid off. You've lived in it for 40 years.
Yeah, we definitely got, great amount of
Great.
equity.
Would you love to get together and talk about that? Just see what's out there?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, we're not necessarily in a position right now to do it, but I'd love to keep you in mind if we have
You
any.
just keep in touch and you let me know when you're ready.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, let's do that for sure. Thanks, Chris.
Okay, see ya.
Great. Hey, right? And just the more you practice it, the better it gets. But that's like, yeah, super easy. I love it. You went right into it. Good job.
Your turn.
Okay, I'm calling you.
Yeah. And
Okay.
here's the other thing, I will say too. Let me just preface this. I want you guys to take the conversations to real estate, like I want real estate to be brought up. However, and that's what we'll practice in this. The first time that you call people, like this first go around, because you're ideally calling everyone every quarter. The first time you call them, you don't really bring up real estate and it's simply just, hey, I just wanted to connect with you. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my group. But again, it'll get brought up, but it's like, yeah, Alicia, I've been working really hard. Yeah, Alicia, I'm working really hard to grow my own, and sometimes you can have that conversation too, depending on the person. Like, yeah, honestly, like I just wanted to connect with you. I'm really committed to helping, other people. I'm really committed to growing my business this year. And part of that is I need to make more connections and talk to people, right? So sometimes you can even you can blame it on being a salesperson. Like you can literally I know one of ours, he'll literally sometimes the people that don't really want to talk to, he'll say, Alicia, hey, it's that nosy realtor again. And honestly, I'm just going to level with you. This is a sales call. I'm going to try and sell you a house. And you can literally just blame it on that. And then obviously it's going to be super easy at that point. It's like, yeah, how are your kids? How's the wife? That's so great. Yeah, no, real estate's going really good. The market's changed a little bit. What do you know about that? Okay, yeah, I remember last time we spoke, you maybe thought about buying a house if rates kind of kept you out of the market. Well, there's all these strategies you can implement to help you get a more affordable rate, Okay, give me a ring. And we'll just say, just an old friend, haven't really talked to you in a little bit, but, has your phone number.
Okay.
And just, yeah.
Hi, Demi. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Alicia. How are you?
Good. It's been a long time. What are you up to these days?
Yeah. Oh man, just trying not to kill my kids. Right. As you can imagine, they're all over the place. But yeah, we're doing really well. What about you? How are you guys doing?
I'm great. I don't know if you've been following me on social media, but I just got my real estate license.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
Just, we bought our house last year and I was just kind of curious about the process and just jumped right into it. It's been going pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're enjoying it?
Yeah, yeah, it's been awesome so far. I heard that you guys were thinking about moving. Are you still thinking about buying a house?
No, yeah, we had thought about it. We just don't know if the market is, maybe we might not get top dollar for our house right now just because of where the market's at, just kind of what we've heard, but it's still on our radar.
All right, well, if you guys ultimately decide to do that, keep me in mind, give me a ring.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Good. Yeah, it's just starting to have a conversation. How'd that feel? I feel okay?
Kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. It is. But as you have them, it gets easier. And I'll be honest, there were days like even some of our top agents in our office, like I know one of my mentors, who I mentioned, Clay, like he to this day, 16 years later, like he'll have mornings where he's like, I don't want to call that person. Like, it's not that that's gonna go away, but you definitely just get more comfortable on the phone. I'm telling you right now, what do you guys think a real estate agent's business would look like over a 5-year span, making phone calls consistently every day versus not, right? Night and day, right? So that's what I'd recommend. Let's see, this next activity, we're pretty much done.
Just say be all for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
yeah, prepare your conversation list. So we'll just do this right now. I'd love you guys to just pick 3 people, just 3. That you were like, hey, this is a person that I would love to just stay connected with. Don't not even maybe bring up real estate per se, but just spend just a few minutes. I'll give you guys just 5 minutes. Just think about who over the next week.
Must we be on?
Yes, please. Yeah, just put down 3 people. And then what I'd like you to do is maybe identify a couple of conversation points that you want to have with those people. Okay, so different things that, and hopefully these are people you genuinely want to connect with. I don't think so. So just things. Maybe look them up on Facebook. Just kind of see what they've been up to, so you have some ammo going into the conversation. And again, for this first phone call, it's going to get brought up that you're in real estate because everyone always asks, what are you up to? But don't feel like you have to go sell them a house. Okay. Like genuinely, you're just trying to establish the habit or the pattern of being in communication with people. Okay.
You can get your master's in finance.
It would be. I really love school, and I just, it would be hard for me to go spend even more time there, especially when I know that anything I want to do, I can really do without my degree. So I love.
So did you have to do an internship?
I did. I interned Cameron Wilson here at the office. Because he runs. Yeah.
It's his husband's graduating in planning.
Cool.
He's up at BYU.
He's at BYU.
He's one of the, he's doing one of the big.
Yeah, and well, that's what I initially planned on, was like kind of corporate finance. I even wanted to go to maybe corporate law, go to law school, but I just,
Nobody likes law school as anything. I
yeah,
don't think I've ever talked to one attorney of our friends to say that they're happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think too about, when I think about what I would be doing as a lawyer would be like building a clientele that I like to help serve, and it's, well, I can just do the same as a real estate agent, and ultimately I love real estate probably more than I might love law, but anyway, yeah, yeah, for now, what I wanted to do was go get my series 7. Like, I love my absolute passion is personal finance. Love personal finance, and that's kind of why I love real estate, is like, because I think that it's such a good investment and such a awesome. So I wanted to get my I want to be like a a financial advisor. I didn't know this though, but you can't hold a Series 7 license and a real estate license at the same time. Conflict of interest. Found out like just pretty recent. So I'll probably just, I don't know. I definitely love taking the like financial advisor perspective with clients and be like, hey, I'm looking at your whole portfolio, what makes sense for you? And I'd love to be able to advise on other assets, but yeah, right now the plan is just graduate. I just need to get done. Okay.
In a couple of weeks.
I know, May 4th. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the part that especially I'm so happy that we had this time together. This is the part normally where I would say, hey, go to all those people. But I'll let you guys do that as you feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's my work.
Yeah, so yeah, the other thing, I love that you just brought that up. Okay, so typically I am, okay, well, I'm not good at it, but it's really important to, and you guys tell me if you agree or not, but to start your day off typically with your hardest activities, right?
Yeah.
Right, don't you think? And I'm very like 100 miles an hour type of guy. So it's like just one small thing can derail me and I'm off on this and then that. So I would recommend trying to make the phone calls in the morning, just first thing in the morning, because that's typically what's hardest. However, I will say, and don't repeat this outside of this room because I don't want to be the guy that's teaching this. But I actually have found a lot of success on calling people on Friday afternoon. Like my whole afternoon, phone calls. And I'm not perfect at it still, like, because I'll sometimes get distracted during those times. But like, I really do think that Friday after lunch, like people will have such easy conversation. So maybe while you start, that's when I would maybe prioritize.
Yeah.
But that's my little,
Do you think they're just gonna let the
oh yeah, it's the weekend.
Yeah.
No one, and I know I see it in my own life. The last thing I want is a phone call Monday morning. Like I'm not trying to get caught up on the week. But Friday, I'm going to St. George this weekend to go golfing with my brother and my friends. Like if someone called me today, like I would be like, what's up, man? Like, so that's my little like kind of secret that I just recently started doing that, like within the last like month or two. And but the reason that I want to be careful is because I do believe that like those 4 laws of lead gen need to be implemented every day. But you can be realistic with yourself. Like if it makes sense to just do your lead generation Friday and then you just do lead follow-up Monday through Thursday. That's what I'm actually toying with that. And I'm hopefully going to get to a place where I feel confident teaching that to people because I don't know. Just for me, it's something. But also don't shy away. Like here's the thing too, at the end of the day, you're never going to catch people at the exact perfect time. You're also like, you're not going to like, it's just, you just roll with the punches a little bit, okay. I think that is the last, I think there's maybe, yeah, oh wow. We spent a lot of time on the content because there's like 30 minutes of lead gen and then update contact cards and celebrate success. Okay, so sweet. Well, that is probably all the material that I'd present to you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. What I'm going to recommend is, Chris, we already had our tech audit, so start.
We need another one. Not today, but it's like.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah, so enroll in that class. And then Alicia, since you just joined this weekend, I'm sure at some point I will schedule it to you.
Yeah, I was messaging Molly, I think it was Molly.
Yeah, at the front desk.
Yeah, and she gave me your.
Okay, perfect. So, and likely your name's gonna come across my desk, probably be today then. And I would have sent you my calendar to schedule. So we'll do that. We'll want to sit down and set up command and kind of get you going on some of those activities we just talked about.
Okay.
But I'm very excited for you guys. I really do think that this industry is so incredible. And I think that if you can just give yourself as many opportunities to succeed as possible. I just think that agents so often like discredit the important activities. I'm so guilty of it. Like I'm totally guilty of it, but I'll commit to being better if you guys do too. So
Yeah, well, hey, we can be better because we have no place to go now.
Yeah,
Right.
I love it. I love it.
That's true.
We can do better.
Okay.
Okay, this is kind of. Good sense.
Answer, yeah,
What
okay.
happens to your student? I mean, what exactly does a mentor do?
Mhm. In
Like
what
your
capacity?
accountability? Like, what's their role? What?
Help me understand your question just a little bit
Okay,
further. Yeah.
What is her role and? Like, what can I expect from my mentor, I
Who's
guess?
your mentor?
Right?
Lorraine. Yeah. Here's the thing.
I don't know that she's ever been before. And I just, when I knew and.
Yeah, here's the thing. Real estate agents are really good at selling houses. They're usually not good at teaching other agents how to sell houses. That's just the reality. So, I would,
I just want to set the expectation.
Yeah.
So.
so what I would do was, I would probably just try and pour into as much of the training that the office
Okay.
facilitates as possible. Use our broker Dean and,
It's a little scary.
really, you think so?
I was intimidated by him.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay.
He is literally the biggest sweetheart.
I think yeah, and my bet it was I needed his signature on something.
Oh, you guys,
In the middle of a conversation.
He-
I did talk to him though, and he was like, so not what I expected.
Really?
I was with Nobly in her office
Okay.
when we were doing like all my paperwork and stuff, yeah. And he came in her office,
Well,
so,
that's where it was when I got a signature for some.
yeah.
Hey. so
yeah,
he is
Dean,
nice.
Dean is so nice.
He is, he
the
was, yeah.
biggest Sweetheart, seriously, he is.
Not what I expected.
No, that's interesting. I'm trying to remember. The reason that I was immediately really fond of Dean is because I actually started at a different company. Just while I was getting my real estate license, I was going to their trainings and stuff, and then by the time I actually got licensed, I came here, but their broker was an absolute a-hole. When I decided to leave, like I felt like I owed it to have a conversation with them that like, hey, I'm going a different direction, but I appreciate it. So mean, so mean. And so we're so lucky. He's such a good broker. Yeah, so, look, Lorraine, though, she's awesome. She's a sweet.
Super sweet. I've known her for years. I'm just not sure what to expect.
Mhm.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, anything I can do to support you guys, let me know. Yeah,
He'll be golfing this weekend.
I am golfing this weekend,
Oh,
which I'm so excited about.
you can go visit my property.
That's George. I'm hopefully listing a condo in Bryan Head this weekend too, on the way back.
That's so pretty up there.
I love Bryan Head. Bryan is awesome.
Do you like skiing there? Or do you just like being?
Yeah, I love skiing.
Good skiing?
I grew up skiing, but then I discovered golf and now I hate the winter. Like I hate it.
I only like winter if they're playing.
That's true.
Other than that, I don't like it. Yeah. Only ski. We always ski at Sunday. I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's good. Alicia, I have a really important question.
Hmm.
Is that your favorite Red Bull flavor?
Yeah,
Is that
Is
the
it
man
really?
it's, yeah, no, it's strawberry apricot.
Yeah, I don't know if I've tried that one.
I just
I-
tried it for the first time like 6 months ago.
And it's your thing. That's
I
awesome.
like the peach one too, though.
Yeah.
The peach nectar there or whatever.
I love the white one.
Yep, the
The
coconut.
coconut, that's my favorite one.
I'm gonna try that one.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. Well,